An arcade is a succession of arches, each counter-thrusting the next, supported by columns, piers, or a covered walkway enclosed by a line of such arches on one or both sides. In warmer or wet climates, exterior arcades provide shelter for pedestrians. The walkway may be lined with stores. A blind arcade superimposes arcading against a solid wall. Blind arcades are a feature of Romanesque architecture that was taken into Gothic architecture. Origin: late 17th century. From French, from Provençal arcada or Italian arcata, based on Latin arcus, bow. History: in Gothic architecture, the arcade can be located in the interior, in the lowest part of the wall of the nave, supporting the triforium and the clerestory in a cathedral, or on the exterior, in which they are usually part of the walkways that surround the courtyard and cloisters. European and North American shopping arcades resemble the bazaars and souks of Asia and North Africa. One of the earliest examples of a European shopping arcade, the Covered Market, Oxford, England, was officially opened on 1 November 1774 and is still active today. The Covered Market was started in response to a general wish to clear, untidy, messy and unsavoury stalls from the main streets of central Oxford. John Gwynne, the architect of Magdalen Bridge, drew up the plans and designed the High Street front with its 4 entrances. In 1772, the newly formed Market Committee, half of whose members came from the town and half from the university, accepted an estimate of £916 10 for the building of 20 butchers' shops. 20 more soon followed, and after 1773 meat was allowed to be sold only inside the market. From this nucleus the market grew, with stalls for garden produce, pig meat, dairy products and fish. Gostinny Dvor in St. Petersburg, Russia is another early shopping arcade. Sprawling at the intersection of Nevsky Prospect and Sadovaya Street for over 1 kilometer and embracing the area of 53,000 square meters. The indoor complex of more than 100 shops took 28 years to construct. Building commenced in 1757 to an elaborate design by Bartolomeo Rastrelli, but that subsequently was discarded in favor of a less expensive and more functional neoclassical design submitted by Jean-Baptiste Valendelard. Moat. Throughout the following century, Gostinny Dvor was augmented, resulting in 10 indoor streets and as many as 178 shops by the 20th century. During the post-World War II reconstructions, its inner walls were demolished and a huge shopping mall came into being. This massive 18th-century structure got a facelift recently and entered the 21st century as one of the most fashionable shopping centers in Eastern Europe. An early French arcade is the Passage du Caire, created in 1798 as a tribute to the French campaign in Egypt and Syria. It was appreciated by the public for its protection from the weather, noise and filth of the streets. A year later, American architect William Thayer created the Passage des Panoramas with a row of shops passing between 2 panorama paintings. Shopping arcades increasingly were built in the Second Bourbon Restoration. Upper levels of arcades often contained apartments and sometimes brothels. Notable arcades. Shopping arcades: Brisbane Arcade, Brisbane, Australia; Burlington Arcade, London, England; Cleveland Arcade, Cleveland, Ohio, US; The Corridor, Bath, England; Covered Market, Oxford, England; Dayton Arcade, Dayton, Ohio, US; Eaton Centre, Toronto, Ontario, Canada; Galeries Royales St. Hubert in Brussels, Belgium; Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II, Milan, Italy; GUM, Moscow, Russia; Sisek Passage, Istanbul, Turkey; Galleria Subalpina, Turin, Italy; Galleria Umberto I, Naples, Italy; Lanes and Arcades of Melbourne, Australia; Block Arcade, a Royal Arcade; Nashville Arcade, Nashville, Tennessee, US; Nichols Arcade, Ann Arbor, Michigan; Old Bank Arcade, Wellington, New Zealand; Paddock Arcade, Watertown, New York, U.S. The Passage des Panoramas, Paris, France. The Passage de Rouergue, Lyon, France. The Royal Arcade, London. Rue de Rivoli, Paris, France. Stanford University, Stamford, California. Silver Arcade, Leicester, UK. The Strand Arcade, Sydney, NSW, Australia. Great Gostiny Dvor Street, Petersburg, Russia. The Passage Street, Petersburg, Russia. Victoria Quarter, Leeds, England. Westminster Arcade, Providence, Rhode Island, U.S. Religious buildings, Great Mosque of Córdoba, Spain. Mission San Fernando Rey de España, Architecture of the California Missions, U.S. Mosque of Uqba, Kairouan, Tunisia. Real Monasterio de Nuestra Señora de Rueda, Aragon Autonomous Community, Spain.